Hello everyone! Today, I'll show you how I redid the hair I made in the previous video. Since sometimes my modeling is some kind of dancing with a tambourine because I'm a newbie in 3D, I decided to consolidate my knowledge with this video so that I can refer to it if necessary. If this is useful to someone else, I will be only happy. I'll tell you what I did to get this result. I did my hair with curves. The process can be viewed in my speed paint. Now I will try to outline the principle of creating hair in this way. I spied Darcy's method. Check it out too. First, you need to create a mesh plane. Then go to Edit mode. Delete one edge. Edit it. Then convert this mesh into a curve. Thus, we have a curve on the basis of which the strands of hair will be made. The next step is to create the path curve. In the Data tab, expand the Geometry tab, select Object, then select the plane curve as the object. You will see the path curve take the shape of a plane curve. At the very top, in the Resolution preview, set the value to 1. This will reduce the number of polygons for the hair strand. You can keep one copy and then copy it for new strands of hair. Expand the object as you see fit. Switch to Edit mode. Then drag the points so that it resembles a strand of hair. If you need more dots, you can extrude or subdivide them. You can also use proportional editing by enabling the appropriate function. To prevent a strand of hair from looking angular, add a subdivision surface modifier. If you want symmetry, you can add a mirror modifier by selecting the character's head as the mirror object. You can transform the strand. For example, narrow the tip or twist the strand. If you suddenly overdo it, you can return the strand to its previous state. Before converting strand curves to mesh, I recommend saving your project as a separate file so that you can return to it if something goes wrong or if you want to make any changes. Before converting to mesh, I remove the subdivision surface modifiers and leave only the mirror. Then convert the curves to mesh, and then add this modifier again. You don't have to remove this if there are two modifiers in the list of modifiers, the first of which is the mirror modifier. If the subdivision surface comes first, it will be applied after the conversion. Keep this in mind if you are not yet ready to apply this modifier. You can add details to the hair strands. To do this, go to Edit mode. Select Edge Select. Select the edges you want to split. It is best to do this after applying the subdivision surface modifier than before, although it depends on your desire, of course. Now you can start creating the hair material. There can be many options. I'll show you my material. My hair material is based on a created PNG hair texture. This texture allows you to make hair strands more realistic. There are 3 density options for different strands. You can create such a texture in Blender using the Cycles Render engine. Create a new Blender file. Create a plane. Selecting plane. Create empty hair. Go to Sculpt mode. Make sure curves are selected. Add a few hairs after choosing their length. In another workspace, go to the Asset Browser tab. Drag the Interpolate Hair Curves modifier onto the hair. Select Plane as Surface. Set Density to whatever value you need. You can add other modifiers to create the hair texture you want. View changes in the Cycles Render. Add light to the scene to highlight the hair. Create a material for this hair. I used this structure. You can experiment with the settings and make it the way you want. Go to the Render tab, find Film, check Transparent. Set up the camera this way. It is better to change the camera type to orthographic. In the render settings, you can set the max samples value to 256. This is quite enough. If everything is ready, run the render and then save the image. Return to your project. Create a hair material. Move your hair texture there and connect it to the principled BSDF node. In the Material settings, find the Settings tab. Set the Blend mode to Alpha Clip. Go to Edit mode. In the second workspace, go to UV Editor. Select everything in both workspaces, and in the UV Editor, adjust the mesh to the texture. To add some volume and silkiness to the hair, I experimented with the metallic and roughness parameters and also added a normal map based on the same texture. If you want to experiment with hair color, you can add nodes from the color section. You can also change the interpolation of the texture from linear to closest, which will improve the display of the piang texture on the object. As you can see, this is a fairly simple way to create hair. The result looks good in both Eevee and Cycles. All that remains is to add animation, but that will be another story.